If you're hearing this, it's already too late to turn back." That was the first sentence written in chalk on the inside of the rusted iron gate, words I wouldn't read until hours later, when leaving was no longer an option. They don't list this place on urban exploration forums. It doesn't have a Wikipedia page. No TikTok dare. No viral thread. No grainy documentary voiceover calling it one of the most haunted locations in America. That's why it's still standing. Forgotten places don't get preserved. They get erased. Slowly, quietly, until only the people who wander into them remember they ever existed. And most of those people never wander back out. I found it by accident while mapping abandoned rail spurs for a freelance article. 30 miles off the nearest highway, my GPS glitched and rerouted me onto a dirt road that wasn't on any satellite image. The trees closed in fast, thick, skeletal pines leaning inward like ribs. My signal died. The air changed, heavy and sour, like damp paper left to rot. Then the trees ended. The building sat alone in a clearing too round to be natural. No fence, no sign, just a massive concrete structure sinking into the ground, its windows bricked over from the inside. The architecture didn't match any era I recognized, part hospital, part factory, part bunker. Above the entrance, a metal plaque had been pried loose, leaving only 4 rusted bolt holes. No name, no warning. I should have left. Every instinct screamed to turn around. But abandonment has a gravity to it. Once you notice something the world has tried to forget, you feel responsible for remembering it. I parked, grabbed my camera, stepped closer. The front doors were sealed with chains, old, thick ones, but they hung slack, cut clean through as if sliced by something sharper than bolt cutters. The doors themselves were ajar. Inside, the temperature dropped at least 10 degrees. The smell hit me first. Antiseptic layered over mold, like a hospital that had tried, and failed, to stay clean while dying. My footsteps echoed too loudly, bouncing off corridors that stretched farther than the building should have allowed. I filmed everything. Peeling paint. Floor tiles cracked into spiderweb patterns. Wheelchairs stacked neatly against a wall, all facing inward, like they'd been parked to watch something. There were no windows, only lights embedded in the ceiling, long fluorescent strips, yellowed with age. They were still on. I remember laughing nervously, telling myself there had to be a generator somewhere. Old places get repurposed. Some military installation, maybe. Some Cold War relic scrubbed from public records. Then I noticed the clocks. Every hallway had one. Analog. White face. Black numbers. Red second hand. Every single one read 3:17. I checked my phone. No signal, but the time read 11:42 a.m. The first room I entered had rows of metal beds bolted to the floor. No mattresses. Leather restraints hung limp from the frames, cracked with age but unmistakable. On the far wall, names were scratched directly into the concrete. Hundreds of them, some crossed out, some circled, some carved so deeply the letters flaked outward. One name appeared more than any other. M. Holloway. I didn't know why it stuck with me. It just did. As I moved deeper, the layout stopped making sense. Corridors looped back on themselves. Doors led to rooms identical to ones I'd already filmed. Same stains, same debris, same overturned gurney frozen at the exact same angle. My camera battery should have died. It didn't. Neither did the lights. I began to hear something under the hum of electricity. A rhythm, soft at first, like distant breathing. Then clearer, counting. 14, 15, 16. Always stopping at 16. Always restarting. I followed the sound down a stairwell that shouldn't have fit beneath the building. The steps were worn smooth, as if thousands of feet had gone down but very few had come back up. At the bottom was a control room. Monitors lined the walls, old CRT screens, dusty but powered, each displaying a different room in the facility. Beds, corridors, empty operating theaters, and one screen showing me. The feed lagged slightly, but it was unmistakable. Same jacket, same camera strap, same terrified expression. I turned slowly. The room behind me was empty. The screen behind me showed someone standing where I was, someone shaped like me but wrong in small, unbearable ways. Its posture was too stiff. Its head tilted just a few degrees too far to the side. The counting stopped. Every monitor flickered, then switched to the same image. A narrow room with a single chair bolted to the floor. A man sat in it, head hanging forward. His face was obscured by shadow. A caption blinked beneath the image. Subject 17 Final Review. The chair creaked. The man lifted his head. It was me, older, gaunter, eyes sunk deep into a face stretched thin by something worse than age. He smiled. The monitors went black. Behind me, the door slammed shut. I ran. Panic strips logic down to muscle memory, and mine screamed exit. But every hallway twisted away from where I remembered coming from. Doors that had been open were sealed. Others opened onto rooms filled with filing cabinets, each drawer labeled with dates that jumped backward and forward out of order. I pulled one open. Inside was a folder with my name on it. Inside that, photos of me entering the building. Standing in the control room. Sleeping. I don't remember sleeping. My phone vibrated. No signal. No notifications. Just one text message. You're almost ready. The time stamp read 3:17 a.m. The lights dimmed. Emergency red strobes kicked in, bathing the halls in a slow, pulsing glow. The counting returned, louder now, echoing through the walls, synced with my heartbeat. 16. This time, it didn't restart. A voice came over the intercom. Calm, clinical. Subject 17 has demonstrated excellent retention. Memory integrity remains high. Begin integration. The walls started to move. Not collapsing, sliding. Panels shifting to narrow the corridors, guiding me, hurting me, until there was only one path left. The chair room. I fought it. Scratched my hands bloody against concrete. Screamed until my throat burned. But the building responded to resistance the way a body responds to pain, by tightening. When I reached the room, the chair waited under a single light. So did the restraints. On the wall behind it, written in fresh chalk, were the words from the gate. If you're hearing this, it's already too late to turn back. I understood then. This place wasn't abandoned. It was full. Full of people who came looking for forgotten things. Full of memories harvested, looped, replayed. Full of versions of the same person, refined over time. 16 had failed. I was next. The moment the restraints clicked shut, the lights steadied. The fear dulled. Not gone, just filed away, like something I'd once read about but never experienced. A screen lowered in front of me. On it, footage of someone new stepping through the iron gate. A different jacket, a different camera, same curiosity, same mistake. The voice returned. Reset complete. Welcome back, Subject 17. The clock above the door ticked once. 3:17. And somewhere far above, the iron gate waited, quiet, open, and ready for the next person who would swear they'd never heard of this place.